happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Modified Life Podcast, where I am your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. Here in Modify Your Life Podcast, we talk about modifying your life mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. And on Modify Your Life Podcast, I have my lovely host, my girlfriend, my hostess with the mostest, Miss Modified Frankie. What's up? It's been a while.
You know, the mostest loose skin right now.
Yeah, I know.
You're
I'm
trying to set
fucking
up,
going
and for a
through
while,
it
you
right
look
now.
like you're in a bad mood, and you're like,
I'm pissed.
Do you normally wear crop tops? You're like, because I can't get this. I'm like, no, it's just kind of what it is right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was just so fucking pissed out of no reason. It's
Are you
just
trying to give
absolutely
me
insane.
your tips on like how to tuck in the
Oh
the
yeah,
loose
yeah.
skin on camera?
Yeah. Well, you're your lightest you've ever been. Well, you gained a couple pounds, but I mean, just water because we've had a long.
Shout out
Shout out to Garrett and Corey.
Yeah.
Everyone visiting, but before we get into it, because I do want to continue on with the update everyone. I personally just want to throw it out there right now. I've been taught my clients been waiting for this podcast. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been waiting for this podcast.
Yeah.
We're officially back as of this Monday. Happy Monday. We are back. And I'm ready to go. So if, long story short, I'm not trying to get into it right now because it is still fairly new, but I'm going to share what I feel is necessary because I feel not everything in my life needs to be shared. Well, I do, but when I overcome it. Is actually
Right.
Let me take it back. I share everything. But is it this? The murder of my father definitely hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. And going through those stages and still doing the bodybuilding show and still being a coach and still being a boyfriend and still trying to figure out who the new Anthony Lopez is, it became a lot. And so I need to take some time off. Honestly, I need a little break. But I didn't take a break from coaching.
Nope.
I didn't take a break from making content. I just needed to take a break from like the podcast and doing like the talking conversation or doing the talking stuff because I feel that, and this is what I personally feel, and maybe you could, you're on the other side of it too, so you could, chime in. I personally feel that broken people shouldn't talk to broken people.
Of course.
I feel like, anyone could go buy a podcast setup, anyone can make content, but I feel not everyone should.
Anyone has his mouth to speak, but it doesn't mean that they're saying the correct things. And I feel like it was a good thing. It was a little scary like that time because it was a little dark because one thing that you preach is like reach out when you need help, blah blah, but all of this stuff you were just internalizing. And you would think I live with this guy, so I know everything. And I know everything as far as information, but as far as like what was going on in here and in here, no one had an idea. So
Shit, I have no idea.
I know. So he crumbled for a little bit, but thankfully,
Just a little
I'm
bit.
sure.
Like a
Well, you
crumble
already
cookie.
updated. His dad got the justice that we were
Like
seeking, so we got it for
68
grandma.
years or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I only went to one court. Is it court hearing, court date?
Yeah.
Whatever the name is.
Well, two technically. That one was supposed to be one, but you went to two, didn't you?
Just one.
Oh, okay, never mind. One.
So, I only went to the last one because like he was very like, it's fine, nonchalant. So I'm thinking, okay, he's just doing this for grandma, not knowing, boy was spiraling in his mind.
Everything.
So yeah, that last one was a hard one, but it was beautiful though to see you and grandma like finally like getting what you guys worked for. So that was cool. You take a break?
Maybe that's why I want to film. I always said I'll never film myself crying. But it's a podcast, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, if we need to take a break at any point, I mean, just let me know.
No,
But like,
I'm used to crying. Everyone's used to hearing. But
I did want to like just see like what, outside of, cause I mean, it's a unique situation, but like outside of like all of the stuff that you like were internalizing, like why did you feel, just because you advocate the opposite, right? Like reach out, and it's because you're like, and you always say for men, like we need to like have someone to share, right? Like why, like, do you know like why you didn't do that? Because I have a feeling like I know why, but like I would like to hear from you.
I don't know. I can't even tell you. It's just like I don't know if it's a coping mechanism or if it's just like, excuse me, I'm a coach, I'm a this, people look up to me, I have to be strong, I have to be a robot. I can't show my true feelings because then I'm gonna look weak. Right. And that was probably what's going through my head. And I'm realizing like it's the opposite. Like I feel like a person that can, well, let me say, a person that can show his feelings and overcome them, right? Not just show, I don't feel like talk about your feelings doesn't do anything.
Like, let's just cry.
Like just
right?
cry about it. Like, yeah, for a couple of seconds, like
Yeah.
sit there, go visit that dark place for a second, but don't like, what does say Jonathan say? Like go vacation there, but don't move there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So being a coach and be someone that's looked up to, I wanted to make sure that I, put on my game face because, I always, you have to be strong. You do. It's like, regardless of like how I'm sounding right now, how I'm looking right now, like these tears, these emotions, they don't change anything.
Right.
Right. So now it's okay for me to feel this way. That's why I was like, no, we don't need to pause. Like, let's keep going because, this is going to bring value. It's going to show that I'm a human because people don't pay attention to that sometimes. I'm going to be like, oh, this guy just got it. He got his shit together.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Right.
seem like a robot.
Yeah, but and I became a robot for a second. But I also understand that at the time, my thought process was shut up, keep going. People are going through worse. Shut up, keep going. People are going through worse. But I wasn't realizing that at the same time as, yes, people are going through worse, but I'm still going through something difficult in my life.
Yeah.
So I didn't think to reach out to anyone because all I know was go, 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 go. Like it's been like that since 2020. I feel like, 2020, 2019.
Yeah, since 2019. No, actually 2020 is when you really started to like really lock in and be like, I'm on this journey. Whoever wants to hop on, feel free, but I'm going.
Yeah.
But this last year, especially, I feel like has been even more tunnel vision because like you've wanted even more from the brand and helping people and, reaching even a higher tax bracket that we even never thought we could achieve and like being around different type of people that could get us that way in the correct manner.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a learning lesson. It's been a lot of positive. Like even though I started crying, like yeah, I'm happy. Like the guy got the time, but like and my family's happy and my grandma was happy. But it's more of like this. It's like everything. Like it was like life didn't stop because it happened.
Right.
Like that when the day that we were driving, or sorry, the next day when I woke up and you stayed back and me and grandma were going to get the urn and all these things that we had to do because like it made me realize like life didn't stop
Because you needed
and
a
now
break.
I'm saying this and I'm not my clients and my loved ones kept me sane. Let me say that but let me just go and share this. What made me realize that is that I was getting text messages the next day with no one really. Some people didn't get the message yet. Some people didn't understand. So I was getting calls and like everything was normal. But I'm over here like, oh shit, I'm getting an urn for my dad. My grandma's asking me what goes on the it's called I forgot the name of it. But when someone gets cremated, it's not called a plaque. It's called a something.
Okay.
And then on top of that, then she's like, my grandma's like, okay, well, you know what? Let's get one for your dad, but let's get one for me. And I'm like, oh fuck,
Like,
you know what I mean?
don't
So
wanna
it's
think
like,
about that.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, I'm getting text messages like, hey coach, and I'm not complaining. It made me feel good, it made me feel normal. But I'm like, oh shit, life doesn't stop.
Yeah, like you could shift
There's
your
still
mind.
DMs. There's still online clients that need attendance. There's still other outside things I'm going through. There's still a bodybuilding show. Like life doesn't fucking stop for anyone. So it kind of like it made me jaded in a way because like I realized like no one gives a fuck. Mm-hmm. And not saying that people don't care, but I'm just saying like in life and like if you look at it as a life, like
Right. In general,
like if I were to die today, people would be sad, but like it still can keep going. Like,
Yeah.
and I still want people to keep going and keep pushing and keep striving to be better, regardless I'm here or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like a realization of like, holy fuck, like life does not stop. It doesn't care if you're fat. It doesn't care if you're skinny. It doesn't care if you have money, if you don't have money,
Mm-hmm.
if you're broke, if you're happy, if you're depressed, if you're like, it's gonna keep going. Your
Right.
bills are gonna keep compounding. Your stress is gonna still be there. So you have to tackle it.
Mm-hmm. And
Right?
that's a
And-
quote you have on
Yeah.
the fridge. It says, "Life doesn't stop just because you need a break."
Yeah, it does it. And guess what? What I've learned though, and this is where this is why we're coming back with the podcast, where I learned is that no, life doesn't stop. And yes, you got to keep tackling it. But and I'm only saying this to my men out there because I only know how to be a man, right? I'm not anything else. It's my gender as a male. Is it this? I'm speaking for my men out there is because this is a problem I see with a lot of us is that we feel like that, we can't share stuff. We're only one going through stuff. We got to go, go, go. And to me, I completely changed my mind around because I'm a pretty badass person. I do jujitsu. I shoot guns. You know what I mean? If anyone looked at me or my girl wrong, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend her. My girl don't have to, work if she don't want to work. So I mean, under check marks, so I take pride in that shit. And so everything as what a man is, I think I check off majority of those boxes, if not all of them.
Yeah.
Right. And I will say this, and that's coming from someone I feel considered as a man, is that, it is okay to talk to your loved one about, some stuff that you're going through. Yeah. And I thought the man was not to talk about it and just to keep going. Now that is true to a certain extent. You keep on talking about it, not changing it. You're not going to, life is not going to, nothing's going to happen.
But when it comes to a point where it's like actually consuming you, like then it's
time to talk. Yeah. And it became counterproductive. So that's why, I didn't want to, but I had to learn that though. There's no way that I would have learned this unless I would have went through it. There's no way I would have learned this if I didn't not talk about it.
Yeah. We couldn't have this podcast a month ago. Even though all the stuff with the court stuff happened June, July, like there was like no way. Happened. Like you just had to, we really had to soak. It was the end of July, say July.
So August and September to talk. We're in October. So I you know what I mean? And I thought, and I kept going, I still put in the podcast, but then everything started to hit the fan. And I was like, you know what? I just, I had to take a break. I had to, but the cool thing about this is that during this time, right. And I hate podcasts like this. I'm not gonna lie, like I hate because like people like, oh man, they're back, and then boom, we hit them with this. Yeah. But also at this time, I want to share this. Like I feel like I have to share this. I don't know why, if it's a pride thing. I've also overcame a lot of shit to where like I feel like a badass.
You are.
You know what I mean? Like I came out on top. You know what I mean? And I want to share this because yes, I'm sharing some deep and dark moments, and that hopefully you guys relate and understand. But at the same time, I overcame a lot of stuff. I quit vaping over the last 2 months. You know what I mean? Like me and Francine have gotten a lot closer. I've learned to like how to be a real man. There was Justin. I did speak on a stand for like, there's a lot of things that I've won. I got rid of people in my life that I no longer needed, that no longer brought value to me. I brought people back in my life that maybe should have never been gone, but I had to learn that lesson too. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where it's like, it's still regardless of everything I just shared, and it's people that have been following my journey and people that are following our podcast, people that could not wait for us to like, talk about it again. A lot of the stuff people don't even know I was fighting the back end, and it's not for you to know, but I want to share that it's possible to overcome shit, and everyone goes through something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like everyone is going to have a battle, and you're going to, whether it be financial or physical or mental or just like, you have
and family dynamics.
Family dynamics. Have a sister that has a learning disability, a brother who's alcoholic. Like we all gonna struggle, but like life goes on. And it's how you look at that situation, and you sit there in that pity party for 24 hours, and it's what you do from there. Yeah. I mean, it'll be nice to even sum up that 24 hours in a couple hours, but I tried to do that and didn't do too good, right? So, you know what I mean? And that 24 hours is not a specific 24 hours. It's 1 p.m. I have to 1 p.m. tomorrow, and that's it. No. It's like that 24 hours of like, I guess you could say of healing, of like, okay, how do I get through this? And then circle back in a week or two, like, hey, am I really healing from this? Is this... You know what I mean? Because like it took a while to like make this podcast, and maybe that's why I got so frustrated in the beginning. Because like I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry.
I felt your energy. That's why I asked you. Like even when you were setting up the camera, you kept tinkering with it. I'm like, we're running off of 1. Usually it's 3. Yeah, and you're struggling with this one.
I just didn't. I don't like these podcasts, and I knew it was coming, but that's just a pride thing, and that's just like an ego thing of myself, and which is so interesting, right? Because I cried in, just first form, just asked me some questions that fucked me up, right? And Steve Harvey's show, and all this stuff, but like crying in front of you, I'm like, oh, fuck no, I can't do that. You know what I mean? But I knew it was coming. That's why I was like, oh, but now I'm good. Like, it's like, now I'm like, all right, like it got out of the way. But no, like I know we needed to shoot this. And I know like something that's been really pissing me off is I hate starting something and not finishing it. And that should piss off a lot of you. And the fact that we did that should piss you guys off too, because I hold myself at a high standard. You should hold us at a high standard, just like we hold you guys at a high standard. And
some of your people were holding you accountable, like, hey, you haven't dropped a podcast. What's going on? And it's been numerous times.
And I love it though, you know, because it's like you said, yes, I did need some personal time. The only reason why I took personal time is because hurt people should not be teaching hurt people. Right. Hurt people, ex-hurt people should be teaching what they've overcame already. Yeah. Right. And I don't ever want to be that person that's out here shedding like this, like everything's perfect, dude. Like I don't like that. Like I want to be open. I want to be blunt about things. I want to, share the good and the bad and the ugly. And when it comes to this podcast, like I want this to be, top 5, top 10 podcasts in the world, but I want it to be genuine. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want it to be from real conversations, from real people that've lost real weight, they've done real things, not,
Or have
from
overcome other things that aren't weight related.
yeah, everything exactly. Like not just weight related. Like, Jonathan overcame cancer. We've still shot podcasts through this too. Let me say that I've been getting better and better every week.
We have about 5 stockpiles.
Thanks to Frankie, like, because she's been like really on it about like making sure I'm doing good. And but like the really cool thing about this, and I would love to get your, opinion on the last couple of months of what you've overcome and what you've learned, is that me and Frankie have not missed the gym. We've stayed on I'm not gonna say we've been eating clean. We've had our weekends where we had fun, but our weekends having fun aren't the same.
But we haven't given up at any point. It's just like, hey, today.
But our indulging is different.
Yeah. It was chilaquiles this morning at
home.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's like sushi. It's like whatever. I want sushi today too. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. But you know what I mean? Like,
Cody's in town though.
He already hates me. But it's what I've noticed is like you've lost weight when you normally would be when you would normally take advantage of me being like in this vulnerable state and be like, okay, babe, let's just go eat, let's be happy. But you're like, hey, you got to get together. Hey, I made your meal preps. Hey, I know you didn't ask me, but I got your water. I'm like, fuck, okay, this is what I need. This is what I need. And like it kept me on track. And like that right there was one of the main conversations. How we started our podcast is we talked about that tough conversation. Right. That's why I had that conversation with you almost 2 years ago. Right. That's why I have those tough conversations with you when you start falling off, is because what happens when I start falling off? Because if you would have kept doing, I'd be fucking 350 right now. Quit vaping. Dad was murdered. Fucking everything else I've overcame.
Like, we threw it all in the blender. Like, hey,
it's all in a big blender.
We're going out through like a whole bunch of shit, right? A lot. Dark stuff, right? I'm like, you know what? Let's throw in the vape in there too. Yeah, let's
quit vaping while you're already about to fucking lose your shit. I'm 275.
We haven't relaxed.
Oh no, actually 271 right now. So I'm probably gonna go into surgery around like 265, 269, whatever. I got a stage at 269, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
We quit vaping. I have not drank one time at all through this whole fucking situation because I refuse to like.
You haven't relapsed from vaping?
Yeah. Once I quit vaping, I never touched it again. And at the end of the day, it's a mental struggle. You know what I mean? It's definitely a mental struggle, but but with that being said, it's overcomable, right? For sure. And I'd rather sit here and let you guys down and let myself down because I don't like starting. So I had to quit this. I quit doing the school community every single Zoom call every single Saturday. There's a lot of things I quit, and I'm gonna come back to them. I swear I am. But I obviously need to make sure that my mental is at least above average or average in order to pour into other people every single day. And one thing I can't do is do podcasts and community calls and all this stuff and then not have enough energy to give to my clients. Right. And I don't want to ever fall into that coaching category of BS coacher. Right. BS coach.
Because you have been leveling up. I mean, I always thought your coaching was amazing because you have this approach that I've never seen. And I don't know if it's biased because, I see you the way you coach. So maybe it could be biased. But, like, your approach is, like, to me, very unique. But, like, lately, even though because heavy to modified, like, it's also my responsibility. Like,
heavy to modified's us.
We have dropped the ball on the newsletter, on the community thing. But I feel bad from a business standpoint, but I feel like it was a correct thing to do because you've been the biggest advocate, not me. Because to me, I'm like, I will put on a fake face and we're going to go through it, right? And you're just like, hey, like if the heart's not in it right now, just because I have the correct information to give, if my heart doesn't match that, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I can't. Now, like when I'm having my one-on-one with my clients, I'm feeling good because I'm helping them. We're going over their check-in. Like it's not hard. It's a couple cuff conversations. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I knew I could be a good coach, but that's all the energy I had. Yeah. I had no more energy to do anything else, and I'm very proud of myself. And like I said, my clients that are listening, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I shouldn't text my coach." No, you guys, that is normal. Life is life. My clients pay me. Messages. I love. Oh my god, I do. My phone was on freaking airplane mode for like 3 days. I opened my text. I don't know. I probably was like half asleep. I don't know, whatever it was. But I don't know when it was. But I got a text message from Friday that came in. So I'm assuming it was Friday, and there was like 40 messages. So I'm like getting back. I'm like, so sorry. And then I had to go. Yeah, I'm so sorry, everyone. Like, because this literally happened. We're filming this on Sunday. This is going up tomorrow, Monday. So everything's really up to date. And then moving forward, we have like 5 podcasts with amazing people, amazing stories that were already shot while we're going through this because I had opportunity to shoot these people, and I didn't want to let I had to win somewhere. I had to bring them, so we got some good podcasts. Yeah, we still shot them, but before we posted those, I wanted to make sure that me and Frankie sat here and talked about
Gave you guys
some
an
shit
update
and
and
updated
then
us.
Also, maybe it's also a good thing. I'm trying to find the silver lining here because while you're recovering, actually the day we're shooting this
11
podcast,
days.
11 days till his first skin removal surgery. So maybe that gives us a little buffer for you to really heal. But I want to get you on the podcast doing solo like as soon as you feel okay to.
I
give
can't
an
wait to
update.
do like the heavy talks again. I can't wait to feel like that good. Like, because heavy talks take a lot because I have to be on my game. I refuse to make a heavy talks video without
really
being
be
on
really
my shit.
in it, right?
Like, yeah, because then I'm being then I start getting what's the word? Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not a good feeling to have. So when you're not doing the right thing, you're speaking about doing the right thing, you feel like shit. And if you don't feel like shit, you have something wrong with you, honestly.
You know who called me out on my imposter syndrome?
Who?
Your clients,
For what?
the girls, because they started a group chat with just the girls, right?
Yeah, I'm not in there.
No,
I don't want to be
you
in there.
don't- you don't wanna be in
I don't want to be
You
in
don't
there.
want- Good times. So, yeah. So then I had sent them this meme that said, I think it's like a clown or something. I'm like, the way I feel like when you guys giving you like mental health advice while I should be checked into a mental asylum. And I send them that. And I'm like, oh, I told him, I was like, oh, but the imposter syndrome kicks in. And they're like, they're just going down my neck. Like, it's because you're so relatable. Like, you need to believe in yourself. Stuff like that. I'm like, oh.
Well, that's the cool side about Heavy Modified brand that
community.
you bring. Well, no, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Stop reflecting everything else. Like, I'm talking about you. Like, you bring a relatability because you don't like this shit. Let's be honest. If me and you broke up a couple years ago, you probably would be at that same weight, but chilling.
Yeah.
Right? And that's okay. But like, you are really pushing to make this relationship work and to make yourself better.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, well, okay, well, we got to do it. And then like, I honestly think you're more badass than me because I did it because I didn't want to be fat anymore. You did it because you're like, this is the right thing to do, but this sucks. Like, I was locked in at like the end goal of
initially I did it because I'm like, my man's fitting into my clothes and that's not cool. And
I still fit in your clothes though, so I don't know.
I wanted to share something like as being the partner, right, of someone that's maybe not even just a weight loss journey, but this is like our situation.
High
even
functioning. High functioning.
Whether it's like someone who's like, like a freak, right? Either way.
High functioning, I'm not a freak. I've been tested.
It's like very high functioning. Like whether they're like starting like 20 different businesses and you're just like, oh my God, right? So I was going through his iPad the other day and I was going through his pictures, right? And I guess that you can pick like by years, right? Mm-hmm. So I picked the latest one. Or the earliest one. And it was like,
like
2018. Yeah.
17.
So
No,
I'm
probably
like,
more.
I'm scrolling, right, while you're in Missouri. And then I'm like, oh, how cute. Like, grandpa. And then Arlo when he's a baby, blah, blah, blah. But then I started noticing this pattern. It was the evolution of how big we both got together. Mm-hmm. But then the evolution of you losing weight. So you're going like this, right? And I'm just like,
yeah, you're like, let me just...
Yeah. And then seeing
that was
like
hard
there
for
was
you.
a point in time where like I seen that you were much smaller than me. Like your face.
I mean, I don't want to say nothing.
Like everything, right? Before you started bulking up with muscles, right? And I was just like, holy shit. And the thing is, I have pictures of those same days in my phone, but it's from my POV, my angles,
It's
my
your
everything.
best
and you're
shot.
just like this, and I'm just looking like a walrus. And you just look at me with such love in your eyes, and I'm just like, I can't believe I did that to you.
Well, you know, it's...
Because you were encouraging like the entire time. Like you didn't start becoming stern and have like that conversation with me
until
right
my
before
work
we
was
moved.
put in.
Until like right before I moved here, where you're like, hey, like I'm established here with what I'm doing. It's not like, hey, I'm just trying to see if it fits now. Like you're like, hey, this is a new me. Please come along. We don't have to.
Well, that's when I knew I
before it was
was
just
for
like,
life.
hey, babe, do you need a trainer? Do you need this? Do you need that? And I'm just like, I'm fine. I've lost like a couple pounds.
Well, there's a couple things, right? One, we should have been making gym content a long time ago, but I knew you're insecure, and I think I babied you on that.
Guys,
and
we went viral. 21 million views.
21 mil.
Yeah.
I should have pushed you a little bit more, but then again, it's like I was pushing myself. So it's like, you know, I felt like I had to get to the hill, and then I had to like, you know, then I'm like going down to get you, push you up a little bit. Then I got to go back up the hill for myself.
You can't
and then
just drag me up
I
the
can't
whole
just
time.
drag you up the whole time
Yeah.
because there's a lot of energy, right? But
All right.
it's a real... You did say you're as big as a whale.
Walrus.
Walrus. So.
Guys, I was so embarrassing. One day I'm gonna post these because I'm like,
Well,
how did you?
But look
see I'm like, and why would you do me like that?
Well,
too?
first off, you did your accountability. You did that to your
Those
goddamn
pictures,
self,
why the
right?
hell
Hold
would
on.
you do that?
First off, you did that to your damn self. But second of all, is this? It always looked like that to people.
Yeah.
But you just didn't see it because
angles.
filters. No, but
Serio.
but now that you're doing it for yourself, you're noticing that stuff,
Yeah.
right? Because now you're noticing where like, oh damn, I have more loose skin here, which is a good sign, but it's annoying. And before you like, babe, you're doing good. I'm like, no, I have more loose skin. You're like, no, I don't know so proud. And like, I'm like, shut up. I know I'm doing good, but like, I have more loose skin. I'm starting not to like it, blah, blah, blah. And so now it's more relatable. Now we're like and I never need you to be on the same level as me because I'm fucking crazy. I get that. Like, I am high functioning now. I'm well aware of that. My man has some amazing conversations with my best friends. Like, I know who my best friends are now. I know exactly, like, I'm not using that word loosely anymore.
Right.
I know, I'm not gonna say best friends. I know my family is now after this last couple months, and it's been the same people, right? Where I had to go out and venture into shit, right? Because I'm just always into shit, always into something, right? I'm always dabbling into something, right? But at the end of the day, like, yeah, no, I know this one's good. I know we're good. But it's like, it's realizing, like, I am all over the place. Like, I am figuring out who I am in my early 30s. I am maintaining a relationship that normally don't last when you live with each, like the
on
odds
paper, yeah.
on paper we shouldn't be together anymore. On paper we shouldn't last. Like the odds of us moving in with each other before we're married and staying with each other were very, very low, and we're still working through that. We're still here. We're still getting everything done. We own a business together, a brand together. And we're making it work, and so like that right there is $1 million couple. I personally feel,
and we're
made
choosing it every day. And there's been times where it's just like the choice is not as easy, right? The choice is just not as easy every day.
Well, it's the
and a constant commitment.
The long-term relationship is behind the tough conversations is what I've learned.
For sure.
Right. So I stopped having this tough conversations with you about what I was going through, and look what the fuck happened. I fucking had a meltdown. Right. And then look who was there for me when all I had to do is speak up to you. And you would have been like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize this. Let me blah blah blah. Yeah. So it's a give and take thing. It's a 50-50 thing when it comes to being vocal with stuff, right? Yeah,
but also like dealing with someone like you. Like, honestly, I'm sure like it's not, oh my God, there's only like one person like you. Like, honestly, the only person that understands a man or like dealing with a man day to day like you, for me, is Jocelyn. That's the only person that I can say, girl.
And you know what's
blah,
crazy?
Blah, blah. And she's like, oh my God, yesterday, blah, 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 too. I'm like, oh my God, thank God someone can understand and not think I'm freaking crazy.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy?
Not us.
Chris is actually crazier than us. Like, he doesn't sleep. I've got to the point where I respect him because I got muscles. But imagine if I didn't care about muscles, I wouldn't even care about sleep. If I wasn't healthy and I was just all focused on money, I wouldn't care about my sleep. Because think about it. Remember before, I would barely sleep.
Yeah.
I take pre-workout to drive Uber. That wasn't how I was also 500-600 pounds, right? But no, and it's really cool, and I personally, I said it, like, that's $1 million couple. That is $1 million story. That is $1 million brand because we are making it work because we want to, not because we have to.
Yeah.
And we do know a lot of people who lost weight and have broken up. We do know a lot of people that have lost weight and completely changed up on or didn't catch up with one another. And we don't want to do that. I would love to be the success story to show people what the fuck's possible if you're willing to communicate and if you're willing to take accountability to whatever it is that you're going through. And that's pretty much...
accountability is a hard part because especially for me, because I didn't realize how much I lead with my ego.
Shit, same. Oh,
I felt like, what do you mean you're holding me accountable for the stuff that I told you I wanted to accomplish? Like, how freaking dare you?
Yeah, then it turns into like exactly. Then it turns into like the bad person by making you wanting you to be better. But
I'm telling
that's
you,
why I'm a
those
coach.
Pictures really put stuff in perspective for me because I'm just like, oh, I can't argue a picture.
Our video.
I can't argue those pounds in that video. Whoa.
But it's a reflection on you.
I argue with it.
Yeah, but it's a reflection that you had within yourself, and that's really good because it shows that you want to change. And that's just what it is. Like, people, as we go through this journey and you lose, a little bit of weight, confidence goes up. Massive amount of weight, confidence goes even higher. We notice that, being overweight, we like to lead with our ego. We take things personal, or we get really defensive. It's completely changing your life around. Like, this is not a joke when it comes into Modify Your Life, like mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Like, it is a whole nother ballgame. Now, we're sharing this and we're sharing in depth into this and be like, oh my God, well, I never want to change. No, fuck that. Shut up. You don't want, you're using that. You want to change. You're just like, no, but you're just using an excuse of like, oh, well, they went through that. So I'd rather just stay fat and unhealthy. No. Stop. Shut up. What we're sharing this because it's not all perfect and candies and rainbows, but it is amazing to be in this position to where I am confident in myself and what I'm capable of. I don't like the way my body looks, but I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Right? Francine doesn't like the way her body looks, but she's proud of herself because at one point you didn't like the way your body looked and it was all fat.
Yeah.
There was zero chance of us having a kid.
I feel like a melted candle. And then you've been catching me.
I'm walking the restroom. She's like pulling her skin. I'm like, oh, you're at that part. She's like in the mirror pulling like butt naked, pulling her skin. I look at her. I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, you're at that part of that journey now. Huh? I know where you're at. Okay, cool.
I'm like, look, I'm skinny.
But you know what it is though? And also we have to. It's kind of like our brain, right? Our brain is like this. When you have to go pee for a little bit, and then you go into the restroom. And then it's like, I'm going to pee now. You have to go. I'm about to piss myself. Yeah. The same thing about this. We were not worried about skin removal surgery until now. I have a skin removal surgery in 11 days. Mm-hmm. So now you're like, fuck, I want skin removal surgery. And I'm like, fuck, I already want my upper body done. And I'm like, damn, and I hate my legs. So now it's just like, we just got to push past this. Like we've waited this long with all this loose skin and we're not done. You still have like 10, 15 pounds to go. Whatever your doctor says or whatever your doctor says when you get the thing back. And then I'm ready to go. I'm just have surgery. I have to do blood work and I have surgery in 10 days as of when you guys are listening to this. Mm-hmm. So it's also it plays a game with this because what instant gratification, want to rush. Yeah. Right. So it's like we have to understand that like we've made it this far with the loose skin. Now it's becoming reality to remove it, but we can't rush it. Right. And that's something I preach to everyone and I have to preach to us. So it's like, look, we came out here to Vegas to become debt free. We are literally $4,200 away from $38,000.
One card only.
We are one card away from being debt free. We
shout out to our financial advisor.
No, shout out to Yvonne. Honestly, I don't know if she has an email or a business thing I give out to you.
Send us a DM.
Yeah, send me a DM if you're interested. She's a financial advisor. Yeah. Like this is not a paid ad by her.
Nothing.
She's literally.
She hates us.
She hates me. No, I hate her. I didn't even tell her when I bought the truck. Oh, I bought a new truck. I have my dream truck.
Oh, and I have a sleeve.
Oh yeah,
I have a tattoo.
You're tatted.
Blasted.
But yeah, no, we got a financial advisor, and after a year, and so let me just share this with everyone, especially with those that have a lot of pride. Put that shit away, right? Because who were they talking to? It was a client. It was a new client, or it was somebody.
Tell me the combo. And
I was saying we're like, oh no, it was okay. I'm not gonna say her name, but it's a girl, and I'm gonna send her this podcast so she knows who it is. I can't say her name though out loud. But I know her? I was talking to her and she was telling me that her girlfriend was like, hey, like let's get our stuff together, blah, blah, blah. Let's do finances. She was her girlfriend was really helping her with her finances. Okay. And she was so pissed. And I was like, hey, let me tell you something real quick. And this is because me and her are a lot alike. Okay. When she first joined my program, she sent me a text like she was pissed that I said some stuff. And I did. I called her out because I could already tell what kind of person she was, and she was a lot like me. She's like, you know what? The fact that you told me that I can't do that or whatever. I didn't tell her I couldn't. I forgot what it was. She's like, the fact that you said that, I don't like that, so I'll do it. Oh, she wanted to just like, oh, I can't do something on Fridays. I'm like, oh, so if you put that in front of your health, then that's fine. We don't have to do it on Fridays. You know I am. Oh, and she didn't like that. Coach. And she didn't like that. And she's like, I'll do it on Fridays, right? So anyways, we're having this conversation. This is the second time she's on my program now.
So hard-headed like you.
Very hard. Stubborn. Okay. Stubborn for sure. and so I love talking to her. But so she's back on my program now. And she was saying like, oh, my girlfriend is trying to get me on track and blah, blah, blah. And I just don't like it. I'm like, hear me out. Me and you are a lot alike. Put your ego, put your pride aside and take that help. Take the help from someone that has more knowledge than you. Mm-hmm. Right. So someone out there, this ego is high, their pride is high. Stop thinking you know everything. It's okay for Francine to say, hey, you did that good, but let's try it this way next time. It's okay for, maybe
trial and error.
Maybe I want to take financial advice from my mom, but for her to maybe give me advice on how not to do something. Like, and before I was very close to that, and now I'm more open to it. And that's from the last couple of months of me like soul searching a little bit more. Okay. And I'm realizing that, your ego and your pride will literally kill you. Right. Mm-hmm. And yes, we hear that quote all the time, but like, I'm here to tell you, like, you can't fight the world and you don't know everything. So sometimes people have more to offer than you think. You just have to kind of figure out what they have value to bring in that conversation, whether it be, maybe they don't have value in this conversation about how to save money, but maybe they do have value as a friend to be there for you. Like, you have to understand there's value in everywhere. You just have to really find it. And if you can't find it, this shouldn't be your circle. But
whether
you know what I mean?
Stuff to go towards or stuff to avoid.
Yeah, but it's being stubborn for me. Like, it's really being stubborn. And what I've learned is like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, really, like, honestly, like, just, and that's me talking to myself and anyone else that needs to hear that.
That's stubborn too?
That's stubborn too. It's like, just shut up. Like, people there are people that can't help you. We're just so stubborn and our pride so high to like not ask for help. And this is male and female. I even had girl clients leave my program and be like, Coach, it's because I was scared to ask you for help. I'm like, what? You pay me for help. But it's a male and female thing, but just put it aside.
I think it's
right? Because like
louder for men like to not reach out. Though.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Definitely I would probably if we did like a poll, it'd probably be more for male than female, but it's for both. I'm gonna say both genders. And I'm gonna say from someone that is stubborn as hell, shut up and just take the advice or take the help from the person you trust. Right. If it's some random, and that some random person giving you advice, like Coach said to do this or AJ said to do this, I'm gonna no. Make sure someone you trust, make sure they have credibility in that situation you're going through. But yeah, so I got a financial advisor, absolutely hate her. Shout out to Yvonne, I hate you, but I love you so much. I'll never quit her. But she has to call me my stuff, and she had to, she really strikes my ego. She knows how to, she knows how to belittle my ego, not strikes it. Strikes it like makes me feel little. She's like 5, she's like 4'11". She's shaped like a freaking 11-year-old kid. Right, but at the end of the day,
we love her. I love her.
But like, she will call me out. Like, she's like, "Oh, you want to look like you have money? You don't want to have money. You want to look like it." And
like, you want to be
that
broke.
really punches a dude in his ego. After I bought a $100,000 truck, but I asked her for forgiveness after I bought it. I didn't care. I bought it, right? But it's one of those things where it's like, put your pride aside and understand that people can help you, and you don't know everything. And it's all about learning and it's all about learning and modifying your life and modifying yourself into a better version.
And your behaviors.
Your behaviors, your actions, your thought processes on it. And so that's what I've learned from this whole entire time. And yes, I took time off and me and Francine got to go hang out with family. We're moving back to California. But even though I was doing still stuff on social media and it looked like everything was fine, the people that really care about becoming better and the people really care about the Heavy Modified brand, they listen to podcasts. This has been like 45 minutes of a conversation of value and of knowledge and of sharing what we're going through. And that's where I personally feel like this is where the people get the real, not saying they don't get the real everywhere, but this is where they get the longest real real meet us,
For sure.
And that's pretty much it. I don't feel like rambling I don't like to get to the point of rambling. Did we hit all the subject you wanted to go over?
I think for us, doing a quick update, yeah, for sure. But I did want to give advice like from a female perspective.
Okay.
If that's cool with you. Because like when you were like dealing with your dark stuff, right?
Not that dark. It's racist.
I realized that I could have been a better partner in that sense, right?
Can't get you to fucking say that off a camera, but on camera all of a sudden, at least I got it recorded.
I am an amazing partner in everything. But however, I dropped the ball there. And I didn't realize because I could easily use the excuse of, well, you swept it under the rug, right? I could have used that excuse because I would ask like, well, do you need me to come with you to these court dates? And you're like, no, I'm only doing it for grandma. But then ego would kick in and I'm just like, well, I'm getting annoyed because why are you going to these things just for grandma? I love grandma, but I was just thinking and me being selfish, like why are you taking time out of your life for someone that really wasn't in your life as long as like I've been in your life, right? And because you're telling me I'm removed from this emotion, it's just for this other person, right? And I want the justice for my grandma. So then I would give you shit for it. So I'm just like, why are you having to leave all these times? Why are we having to modify your calendar every couple weeks for blah, blah, blah? So I'm giving you hell, not realizing, well, partly you didn't communicate, but that's besides the point that like there was big feelings in there.
Yeah. I mean.
And that's where like I needed to like set my pride aside and be like, what does this man need?
Yeah. It's a two-way street. Like it's like not more your fault than my fault. It's not my fault more than your fault. It's just that we're both at fault, and I think that's a big. But
that was like my accountability thing there, because and like what I wanted to say is like for like women, like when you deal with
just say men
like you, right? It's
just say men.
Like,
I think we're all like this.
Yeah, possibly is like really pay attention. It's like don't just listen to their words. Because women's intuition is a really powerful thing. And I was having women's intuition as like, something's not like right. everything seems to be operating like it normally is, but it's not feeling right. And like now, like ever since like that court date and all that stuff, I realized like you just need to pay a little bit more attention, and also like read the energy, because like I can tell even like today as an example where I could see the energy shift, and I'm just like, okay, maybe right now he needs a little bit of space.
No, I think I just didn't want
And
to.
it's not about me right now. Like how I told you when we were in California that you're like, hey, like, why are you so distant right now? Because I was like sitting like across the table from you. But it's like all day I felt like a little anxiousness, right? So I'm just like, okay, usually I'd be like, oh my God, he's mad at me. Oh my God, it's about me, right? And it's like I had to take a step back and be like, girl, not everything is about you. He'll come to you when he's ready.
Yeah.
And then that's when you're like, a couple hours later, like, hey, babe, like, why are you sitting over there? I'm just like, hey, I was just giving you space. You good? Okay, let's chill.
Yeah. Well, because you got to remember, my mind's going a million miles a second, and it's organized, but it's still going a million miles a second. I still, and I don't like to make this like what is it? My character. What do we say? Like having ADHD and all that stuff. Like make it your personality
trait. Yeah.
But it is still fun. It's still there. You know what I mean? I don't take medicine for this shit. I don't believe I need medicine. I made it this far. You know what I mean? But like you could, I could be sitting there and you could be thinking like, well, he could be hugging me right now, but I could be thinking about the last conversation I had with, just Joseph or whatever, a random name. And if I said the right thing, or maybe I wonder how they took that conversation. Like I could literally be thinking about that, or I could be like, shoot, I need to make a post. I haven't made a post today. I could be thinking about fucking starting another business. Like, so it's like, I'm glad that you realize that everything is about you, because it is about you, but not every second of the day.
Yeah, like not just because you're quiet for a moment. I'm just like, oh
I'm
my
not
God,
mad at you I'm not mad at you because I don't talk. I want you there.
But
like,
remember
the situation with my grandpa. I didn't talk to you a lot when my grandpa was going through that, but I
was
wanted
invisible,
you there.
but I needed to be there
Because you were like my comfort zone, but I don't need to talk to my comfort zone to be comforted. I just need you sit with me, chill with me, just vibe with me, just sometimes you don't want to scroll next to me, laugh, laugh. It's not like you have to shut up and not say anything. But it's like not every single second I'm thinking about our relationship. It doesn't mean I don't love our relationship.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about how to grow that brand. I'm thinking about how to become better. I'm thinking about you finishing up your schooling, and then we got to pay the $2,000, $2,500, whatever it is for your lash company. Okay, she'll start saving for it now. How long is it going to be?
And also my
like,
surgery.
Your surgery, where that's another. This can be another $15,000 for one of them for you. So, and I'm not saying think about this all the time, but it's always something to think about. But like our times, I personally feel our times is like when we shoot a podcast, this is for us to kind of share with other people how to overcome things, right? Because we're back to shooting podcasts, every week now.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's excited for that. But then too, like when we're at the end of the day, when we unwind, whether it be 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or whatever it is, it's like, cool, then that's also our time too. But throughout the day, like we are with each other. But now, like moving forward, like I kind of set that like standard of like, hey, I love you. Let's work together, but don't think like, because I'm not talking to you, I hate you.
Right.
It's more of like, we have a lot going on. I have surgery. We're moving back to California in February.
Yeah.
I still have, there's so many different there's so many moving parts that are blessings.
So many.
They're blessing. Like do you understand that I got no, I'm not going to take away the hard work.
Right.
Right. Take away the hard work. I'm not making it about me right now. I'm saying this though. I literally have everything that I have today because of weight loss, because I got to 600 plus pounds. Do you understand how big of there's people that get to 600 pounds that don't even make it out alive. You know what I mean? There's people that have suicidal thoughts that end up going through with it. Like I have everything around this brand, right? This luxury apartment, this fucking dream truck, right? Money to start to have a taco business, to give our equipment to your family so they could work it.
That's another update.
That's another update. You know what I mean? All because I was fat. Not everyone gets opportunity.
Yeah.
Not everyone. Now, I will say, not everyone is willing to take that fucking shit show that they're in and fix it. But I'm just also saying too that not everyone gets out. There's a lot of people that have lost 200, 300 pounds and don't have a percentage of what I've done. Now I did it correctly. I did it how I started to move the right way because I wasn't really into social media.
Even if it's slower.
But at the end of the day, I'm very blessed for what I have, and it's because I was over 600 pounds. It's because I get to relate with people that are depressed, they're suicidal, that are 600, 500, 400, 300, 200. It's because I get to relate with people that who grew up being made fun of. It's because I get to relate with people who have freaking man tits. It's because I get to relate with people, the girls who have loose skin. Now I'm gonna get to relate to people who have scars. Like, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I am very blessed. I'm very grateful. So if I were to not take advantage of this, I feel like that's slapping, God in the face. That's slapping
Your blessings.
my blessing. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't want to become that person.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I not become that person? I constantly work. I work through things. I put out fires. I work through things. I put out fires. But now I became more of a man over the last 2 months or 3 months. And I realized that talking with you at the end of the week, a simple little checkup is going to help me a lot more. Because imagine if I would have talked to you 3 months ago, then I wouldn't have had this last 2 or 3 months of fucking shit. Right. So I actually hurt myself by not doing the right thing. What I always say? When you do the right thing, you tackle it right away. It doesn't come back to haunt you. Well, I didn't do the right thing and it came back to haunt me. Mm-hmm. Right. There's a message for everyone listening. Like it all comes back. So now I set the bar. We have a agreement of our relationship is, and what we're doing moving forward is that I love our relationship 24/7, 365, but I'm not constantly like, okay, if he left to the gym or he went to go do cardio, he didn't say hi bye to me. Doesn't mean I'm mad at you. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I don't love you that morning. It just simply means that my ass woke up late and started scrolling, and now I had to run out of the gym. You know what I mean? Or whatever it might be. Just kind of using that like a little example, right? And then we just get better moving forward, like and growing our brand. And like now that we're in the gym with each other, we got a lot of content in the gym. You have your skin removal surgery coming up.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be. I know it's going to be.
We're breaking the internet for one.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go for. Like we're gonna really go from like that you weren't ugly, you were just fat type of situation, and we were broke. We were ugly physically, we're ugly mentally, we're ugly financially, we're ugly all that, and it was all changeable by just doing the right
internally.
thing.
And I'm excited for our podcasts like together moving forward, because there's like so much from these last 3 months that like I want to kind of unpack, like even like I started getting closer to my like spiritual side, and I'm just like, hey, like I'm open to like going to church with you and not just go there because I feel like I had to.
We missed church today. I thought about that.
We could watch it. Yeah. Because before I used to go, and it's just like I would, because you know how they have timers and stuff, and you would get so mad because I'm like, look, timer. I'm like, oh, this is such a business, right? And then it's like, I feel like, and we'll get into it in other podcasts, but I feel like you were tested as well as I was tested, to the point where the only answer was like, God, can you please just stop? Like, I get it. I'm going to get to know you now. That and your confidence is just boosted. You back, because you're doing it for yourself. Yeah. So I feel like you're going to bring a whole nother vibe to the podcast, because now you're figured out who this version of yourself is. And before you didn't really know, and it's going to be cool to hear you. Like, I feel like you've talked more. Well, this podcast was mainly about me and like why we took a break, because we took a break because of me. Right. So, but like, I know moving forward, you're going to be, I think today you spoke more than you normally speak in podcasts, but you're going to speak more and more and more. Well, what slapped me in the face, knowing, like letting me know that I was not, and I'm speaking for myself, that I was not up to par bringing the help or whatever knowledge like that I could have to the podcast, was when Jess sat right here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this girl's amazing. But then I thought of, as a human, she's not bringing anything that I couldn't. And it wasn't anything towards her, because I was just like, she is amazing. But I'm like, wait, I can be amazing too. I'm just like shutting down my own light.
Yeah.
And I loved like how she was speaking and everything. I'm just like, whoa, girl, like you have this amazing opportunity. And just because you're self-conscious or all of these things, you're
blocking your
throwing
blessings.
It away.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, we all are capable of achieving greatness. We'll say your creator is not going to create someone who is mediocre. No, it's not going to create Francine to be better than Timothy, or Stacy to be better than blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Right? So we all are capable of becoming great. We are all capable of becoming better. We are all capable of change. Right? Yeah. We are all capable of holding ourselves back. We are all capable of sinning. We are all capable of doing the right thing. We are all capable of doing the wrong thing.
So we're given the choice.
We're given the choice. Yeah. Right? So when you look and we self-reflect and see where we're at in life, that is a choice. Now, one can say, well, that person had it better than me. Right? That person started off a couple steps ahead of me, which is proven. Right? It's proven that there's actually been studies where, like, obviously there's people that do start off in a better position. But guess what? Just like I said in the beginning of the podcast, that is irrelevant on if someone started with a better family, a better upbringing, a better knowledge, it's irrelevant.
Better head start, yeah.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
because that's not you. Now, you could always catch up to that person. You could always surpass that person. You could always be as good or even better than that person. But it all falls into how much work you're willing to put in, right? So when you look at your life as a whole, it is your obligation to become better. It is your obligation to fix it. It is your obligation to get out of that hole that you are in. And if you don't want to, that's
cool, but don't complain about your situation.
Don't complain about what you've earned.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I get that because before I used to be like, oh my God, this sucks because blah, blah, blah. Like I have PCOS, yada, yada, yada. And I keep remembering, you're like, yeah, it does. But oh, well. But what are you doing to make this better for you?
Well, there's someone.
Yeah, because you're like, have you tried to take any of the vitamins? Have you tried to blah, blah? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, then stop complaining. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, life don't stop. You have PCOS. Okay, I go, well, get over it, right? There's someone that literally was on their way to snowboarding and woke up with no legs, right? There's someone who lost both their parents in a car accident. There's someone who has no parents. Like, life doesn't stop because you have something. You adapt, you overcome. Someone has a better. Exactly. Someone has a worse and someone has a better. Oh, well, right? At the end of the day, it's your life. It's your body. It's your mindset. It's how you look at yourself. We're only here for what, 65, 75 years. Pretty sure it's going to go down soon. Right? So you're going to sit here and complain about what you don't have and not focus on what you do have. You're going to sit here and complain about what you don't have and not focus on what you can have. Right? You're going to sit here and complain about how you look today, but you're not going to put in the work today to fix who you're going to look like tomorrow. Like, come on.
The way you break it down is so disrespectful because you make it seem so easy because it is, but it's just like,
well, it's not.
How dare you break it down that way?
It's not meant to be easy though.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
it is simple.
It's simple. Well, if you look at it black and white, what makes us human is emotion.
Yeah.
Right? So for me to be a lion and want to sleep with you, I just have to go kill another lion. There's no emotion. I'm just put on this earth to do that because that's how I want to prove my dominance, right? So I can go kill someone as a lion. As a human, if I want to sleep with you, I can't go kill another dude and make that be okay. Right? So there's emotion, there's, the right, there's wrong. That's what makes us humans, right? Emotion, right and wrong, love, feeling sadness, happy. That's what makes us. So with black and white, not being a human, weight loss is freaking easy. Now with being a human, weight loss is difficult because there's emotion, there's a feeling, there's a consistency, there's traumas, there's childhood trauma, there's past, there's the unknown, whatever the hell it is, right? So it's not meant to be easy because at the end of the day, we're surrounded by people that are average, right? And this is like the best time for us as a society, or us for overweight people or morbidly obese or whatever you want to label yourself, is to really, rise up and to win right now. Because there's so many people around us that are barely making it, being average. It takes a little bit more effort just to be better.
Just level up or shut up.
Yeah, exactly. There it goes. Just level up or shut up. Right. And so, that's pretty much it. I don't want to, get into whole ramble. We got a lot more podcasts coming up. We definitely got to do an update. I'm feeling
chit chatty, so we're going to be shooting more.
I like that. Well, we're definitely going to give the next podcast. We're going to go over my skin removal surgery and stuff like that. So I'm excited. We don't really plan our podcast. We go over the week and we see what some good topics and we get with it. And I don't want to ever change that. It keeps it real. The whole crying today was not staged, even though it's really great for the views. But it is what it is. This is life, and this is, stuff that I go through, and I hope that you could learn lessons that I've overcome and I've done the right way or I've done the wrong way, and then you could skip that part of your life and just be, oh, well, my coach did that, or Anthony did that, or Heavy Modified did that. He said that it led him into a bad place, so let's not do that. Let me do what he did the second time around. That is why you listen to things like that, is you learn from my mistakes. You learn from our mistakes. Sorry. You learn from our mistakes, so you skip them in life and you could become better. Right. Yeah. And if you're on the path of making our same mistakes, at least you can see what it looks like when you don't make those mistakes anymore, or what we replace those bad mistakes with.
That's
right.
For
so
sure.
Modify Your Life podcast, it's all about modifying our life. It's all about becoming better. It's all about becoming a better human being, a better dad, a better brother, a better husband, just a better human in life. Right. And the only way you could do that is by doing different.
Not for the world.
That's even better. It's about being a better you. That's very true, because when you become a better you start leveling up everyone around you. Right.
Yeah,
so
unintentionally, but it's a great thing.
Yeah, look at Frankie. Leveled her up.
Get out of here.
And,
facts, but whatever.
Yeah. And this is Modify Your Life podcast, where we hope we always will continue to bring value to you, make you think, make you laugh, make you cry, make you really just sit down and ponder of like, what am I doing wrong and how can I fix it? Right? Because at the end of the day, life will always give you problems. It's up to you to come with solutions. This is Modify Your Life podcast.
See you next time.
See you next time.
All this happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is